Hey, how's it going? I'm gonna ask you to first look at my signs for my safety and yours. I'm joking. So, I just really felt like I had to talk about some stuff here to the camera, and usually I have like a plan, and I was just like, I don't know if I really have anything to say, but just go anyway is the feeling. So, hi, here I am. I had pulled some cards, but that's kind of something I wanted to talk about is that recently I had pulled some cards and I just felt like it was just awful. Like, I was having a really hard time connecting. And that seems like it's been happening more and more. Although sometimes it just works, So I don't really know exactly what the cause of that is. But if I can't do it right, I don't want to do it. So I'm just sharing that feeling with you. I still am just pulling them for myself every day because I'm just learning with them always, and also there's like a lot that's been going on, like activations and upgrades and full moons and eclipses and all kinds of everything just being thrown at us. It feels really fast. It feels like things are speeding up. And from two sources, I can just say, like astrology, or a particular astrologer that I'm thinking of, and a particular cosmic psychic medium light language singer, and oh my god, this woman has a lot going on. And they're both talking about like compressed time periods and things feeling faster and things going faster. And then another aspect to that is like I'll hear like the ETs or somebody from the angelic realm also talking about that, and sometimes they'll say that it's partially because the galaxy is like moving, I guess. In space. I know that like some of the astronomy stuff I've been watching is talking about at a certain time, and I think it's time in terms of the way that astrology talks about time, because it's a lot about planets and where they are and what they're doing, and forward and backwards and squares and triangles or trines, and so it's like it seems like a lot of the similar type of language. And they say also that planets are gonna have different names or something like that, and I'm like, is this like with Pluto and Sagittarius? Like, is it gonna stick? Like, what? I don't know. This is new. This is new to everyone. I think, unless somebody's really, really, really old. And I'm assuming it's happened before that, you know, our cluster of planet galaxy is just like hustling right along in the universe, some kind of cosmic current stream thing. And it's probably coincidental with like all these people awakening, like all of the, like everything that I mentioned. And then, when you start awakening, it's like a kind of a stark reality if you weren't already halfway there, and like was noticing like inconsistencies in life, and I don't know, thinking deep thoughts about people and society and the past repeating, and like all the stuff that's kind of happening right now, you know. um I don't have to wonder, but usually I confine my remarks to the United States, but I don't have to wonder too much about other countries in this regard, because this has kind of been happening like since I've been paying attention to news as a human being. Certain, I'm just going to be real vague here and call them masculine energies everywhere. You know, they always want to like drag their country and the poor women back into some like horrible age where, you know, not just women, but nobody could do anything except noblemen and rich people. And we're almost already living that reality. But so like that's not enough. You got to still do the taking away and making everybody miserable thing too. You can tell how thrilled I am by that. But, you know, I always say, you know, we're all going through something, and that was so many things like that I'm just hearing a lot. And another one of the things is, like, step up and, like, do what you're here to do. And not everyone is, like, on that sort of detail, you know, like maybe they're just unaware of any of this new age stuff, but they just are good people, you know. Doesn't matter which category they're in, they're just good people. And so they start awakening, and it's like so many things. Like you become aware of the world around you and certain things that are happening and there in the world that like will have been there probably your whole life, and you just didn't notice them in the same way. And you start having more feelings, like emotionally and then physically, sensational type feelings. You'll have them. And that just ramps up as it's going on. Like I remember when I first started like paying attention to or like even trying to figure out what the heck was going on, because well, at a certain point, like I knew what was going on, and it was like I could accept as much sort of upgrades as I wanted. Like I could say, oh, that's too much or too little. And sometimes, you know, the combination of you getting that upgrade and then like all of this other stuff that you become open to, I want to say like involuntarily, physically, like once you have made the decision to start pursuing this avenue of life, I think your body just kicks in and it's like, okay, this is the thing, like we've been waiting forever to do. We know what to do, like sort of. There's some interplay that has to happen. But the point is this thing that I noticed was like every day, you know, I'd have my routine and meditations and like conversations with, never mind, just, you know, learning stuff. And the upgrades coming in felt physical. They still do, but then it kind of hurt. You know, it was like getting stabbed in the head. And, you know, it will go on for like longer than an earthquake. So not a whole lot longer, but long enough for you to feel like, ow, you know. And like sometimes I'd have to say, okay, like back it off a little bit. That was a little bit too much. But I was into it, and I still am, you know. And they say, like, once you learn stuff, certain things, you can't unknow them, you can't unlearn them. And I'm definitely there, and I'm fine with that. And so I know I'm just gonna ramble all over the place. I was talking in my previous video, and maybe the one before that too, about channels on YouTube that were talking about like what was going to happen after this date and what was going to happen after that date, because there's all these planetary alignments and stuff going on up there, and there's going to be an equinox, you know, besides the full moon and the new moon and an eclipse. It's like, if you're sensitive to that stuff, which I wasn't particularly before, I didn't think, like, sometimes I'd notice like moon stuff got a little like wacky, you know. But very generically, like I had no idea did all this other stuff. But then, if if I look back now at the way I behaved and the way that I still am, you know, it's just like, oh, you know, I guess I was kind of like nuts. So, but I didn't know what it was, you know. And it helps when you have an idea of like what's coming and how it feels and makes you behave, then you have a little better handle on it when it happens every month, several times in the month. And so what the heck was I leading up to? I don't know, like, I was gonna go here anyway, maybe it kind of has to do with it, but, oh, it's coming back. Oh, so yes, the channels talking about the things that would happen during all of these sort of cosmic things happening in the heavens, right? And it was like, after like 6 planets line up in a row, you know, like, this is going to happen and this is going to change, and I never know. Like, you know, it's very clickbaity looking, and then the headlines are like, kind of like, listen, look, you gotta, because I know that it's, I don't like that they do that. It feels like an ad. Like, I almost want to just pass it, but, depending on the channel and what they're talking about, I'm like, okay, I gotta look at this. But geez, do you have to, like, I don't know. I have opinions, but I'm just gonna save that. Anyway, you will feel stuff if there's 6 planets in a row and it's unusual. And okay, but can you look at the world around us right now, and like, if you're in America, take your pick. There's a lot of like highly charged, generated I mean, there's stuff that makes sense and there's stuff that doesn't. Like, the whole Biden was gonna run again for president, but wanted to be the nominee, and everyone in the party, oh my god, it was just like, that has not happened in recent history. I don't think if it's happened at all the way that he was removed. But I don't know that it was as, like, it wasn't like that title card of those channels I was talking about with like bright colors and exclamation points and you gotta look, like, it looked and sounded bad, but I think that there were extenuating factors. Like, I think Biden felt an urgency to not let catastrophe happen, and I understand, but he didn't have all of the information. His own people were for some reason shielding him from stuff, and I guess he had like a real temper and blah blah blah. So I don't know, get some dudes that ain't scared of people if that's gonna be the case, because I hear that about a lot of presidents. But you know what, the people don't leave, so maybe they're the dudes, male or female. They can, you know, nut up in there, whatever. But you know, it's almost like the world is like, even here, his own country, were like, come on, Tim Walz, and he's like, yeah, I'm still president. And I have feelings, like, my feelings would be hurt, but I think he does understand. And is genuinely like gotta do it for, well, of course, for the cohesion of America, but also like the Democratic Party, like that's been his company, his other family for, and that life for like most of my lifetime, which is 60 years. So I imagine because he feels like a sentimental guy too. I imagine he feels kind of hurt, but also like extenuating circumstances. Like they couldn't let him be out there malfunctioning, and like it was gonna be going so good, and then I don't know. It just all these things happen where it's like it's a good thing. Obviously, it's going really well now, so a lot of people would say it's a good thing that everybody came to the resolution that he should step aside. Okay, so and then like the Israel thing is kind of like, I just can't believe how I don't even know how to call it, man. The interplay, or whatever's the interaction between Palestine and Israel, and I don't care if it's Hamas or whatever, because they're not making a distinction. They're just like, blow those people. Gosh, I don't want to get in trouble. Yeah, move them out of the way though. And I'm like, well, but they're human beings. Like, how can you? Why are you? Like, I'm having a real hard time with it. So, but not intellectually. Like, I get like all of the factors and everything, and even that, like, even to the level of like they're doing their Matrix karma role play thing, working. That's happening. Still, is just yucky. Okay. And then, oh my God, the P. Diddy thing. Not everyone was paying attention to that, and because it is very black thing. So a good portion of America just, and it's a shame because it points to a wider problem with that very issue, or many of the accusations and findings that have come out since. And like now, I just stopped watching after about a month because it was just a bunch of channels like stealing from each other and just like putting together the same pieces and telling the stories, and there'd be a bit here and there, a bit there, and then like a new charge would come up, or so it's like in the investigation period. And actually, I'll know because I had the Law and Crime channel before all of that happened anyway, so I'll see if anything's going on with it, because intriguing. And also stuff I've heard rumors about for years. I grew up in Hollywood, so yikes. But I know, like, so much weird stuff happened there. Manson family, Wonderland, Eddie Nash and that Wonderland murder situation. And Wonderland's like not a cool, it's not a great address. So there's always something, right? There's always some scandals or something happening, and but everything seems on a really large scale now, and not so large everybody can see everything though. Okay, so I actually did pull some cards, and they're just here in case they just happen to tie into anything that I want to say while I'm just yammering. But I want to talk about what happened in the comment section here on YouTube earlier. I had watched a video of it was a Trump video, and it was I don't remember what channel it was. It doesn't matter. He was being interviewed in one section of it, and his pant legs had ridden up very high, and like seemed to be like at his knees for some reason, which I didn't notice until the people in the comment section started talking about it. But it was like a pretty funny conversation, and several people were like joining in, and it was just that he was wearing knee-high socks. Oh, it was the Damage Report, and the host, John Iadarola, was kind of just tripping on how tall his socks were. And I thought of this interview when Brian Williams had a talk show for a brief period on MSNBC, and the guest that this particular night was Jon Stewart, who you would know from The Daily Show. So they're talking and whatever, and all of a sudden Jon Stewart starts talking about Brian Williams' socks, and he's like, I think the thing was that you could see Jon Stewart's legs, like between his sock and his cuff of his pants, and Brian Williams' legs, or his socks, just went on forever or something. So Brian Williams pulls up his pants, and he's like, oh yeah, he's got like knee highs on, basically. Like, girls call them knee highs. John was calling them long socks or tall socks or something. But you know, they also look like compression socks, which I think is amusing. So, but that's what it reminded me of. This Trump thing was like, I thought Brian Williams might have been wearing compression socks too. And he said it was like to prevent his leg from, I could see how it would mess up the shot. Like, it would be, like, Jon Stewart started talking about it, but I was noticing his white leg between his dark clothing. Anyway, so the Trump interview, that's what the conversation had gotten to, and somebody said he had cankles, so I said, well, he's older, and so the doctor gives you compression socks for swollen feet and cankles, and that's what they look like. So it was going okay, and there was one guy that really wanted to talk about how, yeah, but Trump could win, though. This way, you guys, you gotta go look at this. And I don't mind, like, having a conversation in the comment section, and this was before I had my own channel. I feel like you don't want to, like, go in the comment section and then, like, start bringing in all kinds of other people's content. I don't think I have to explain that. I think that's, like, not cool. So he wasn't exactly doing that, but he was like, I don't think you guys understand. You gotta go look at blah. And I see that a lot. Like, and I don't know what this is because I don't go look at it because I'm annoyed, but I've seen it on a bunch of different comment sections. Somebody says, go look at something called BERL. And I'm like, no, because I'm in this person's living room. What are you doing? Like, I get all annoyed. So, but I just wanted, like, I was in a jokey mood. So, we went back and forth a little bit, and he was like, yeah, but blah, 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 blah. And my first answer was, well, can I have my opinion without you coming over here to adjust it? No thanks. And I gave a smiley face, because I wasn't mad, but seriously, like, get off my opinion. Let me just put it here. If you don't like it, fine, but don't be all over me to change it. Like, no. This is a comment section on a social platform. No. So we went back and forth a little bit, and he was like, but I'm worried. And I go, don't worry, because what he's saying and what his platform, what his, party platform is, his plan, whatever his ideas. I think that was the word I used. Why did I make it so complicated? His words and his ideas and his people. I mean, just keep bringing them, keep doing it, because I think that's going to lose him more people than anything, is just himself. And so, I mean, I just really wanted him to calm down, and not because he was saying to go look at something else, but also because he was like agitated, and other people were like yucking it up because, I don't know, gallows humor, I guess. But I forget what he said back, but the last thing that I said, which here's the point coming, was the absolute last thing that I said in this conversation. And I think it's because I said this, I think everybody blocked me or something. But I said, look, don't worry about it. It's not good for you. Like, I think the energies right now, are like, if you have to study for, like, psych yourself up for a test or a job interview, then that's kind of what you're doing. It's like you're psyching yourself up. Oh, here's what I said before. I was like, okay, well, if you just want him to win, right on. And then I tried to leave, and you came back again and said something else, and I was like, look, if so you psych yourself up for a job interview or a test. You do that, right? And I didn't say this, but I'm going to add, you undoubtedly have walked into an angry room. Like, you just know, like, oh, people are mad in here, what's up? Like, it has to have happened to you. It's not even like all supernatural. It is a thing that happens. Or a sad room. Like, you can catch a dang vibe. Like a virus, right? So, I'm like, the energy is being what they are right now. Like, don't worry. Don't be a bummer, because if there's a plurality of people thinking like that, then you guys are going to bring the mood down. And, like, if people feel like there's hopeless and they just want to give up, they'll either not vote or vote for Trump, which you don't want. So I didn't say quit being a bummer, but I was like, I'm trying to keep it light, buddy. Like, come on. Like, don't worry about it. And then after I said that about the energies and the vibe, that's when all conversation stopped. It had been boo 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 for like 6 minutes, and I wasn't actually upset about it, because getting back to that, I think that's what I'm here to do, is like interfere in that, exactly that kind of way. And if everybody left, at least they'll think about it, because like I said, it really wasn't that like ooh a thing. The words are triggery, I guess. Well, I know they are. That's why I hesitate to even speak up, but I can't be doing that anymore. I think here's my stress and crisis reaction. I'm not going to worry and get all scared about it. I'm going to try and keep it light, keep the energy up, and well, I don't ever go in there looking for a fight. So that ain't going to happen. I don't do that in life. I don't like it. I don't like getting upset in that way. I don't like getting angry, because it sure doesn't get me anything. It doesn't help me with my problems when I get angry. It's like not it doesn't enhance anything. So oh, okay, well, I got 2 of Pentacles, and I was talking about this the other day. Where is my indicator? Hold on, let me find my little pointer. I know you're here. Is that it? No. There it is. Juggling the energies. You got the light energy, and this got a pentacle in there with the spire pointing upward, which is generally thought of to be the positive position, like a dang light socket. So the positive, and then this here, I guess the light socket comment makes no sense. Scratch that. And then darker, but not like funeral dark, you know? It's just like, that's just how it is. Everything is not a cigar, you know? Sometimes the situation is just an everyday situation, but you still got to juggle the energies, you know? And you yourself might be feeling some kind of way, like happy skirt, but what's up with this goth top, you know? Does that indicate some sort of mood imbalance? I don't know. Does it really matter? She's not dwelling on it. She's not worrying about it. She's dancing, it looks like, and juggling. And that's kind of what we do all the time. But maybe we're not that happy about it, and, you know, feeling like a little dance, a little jig is gonna pop out, but maybe we could break the tension. The next one I got is Knight of Wands. I almost feel like that's still what I was talking about, except this is like, well, the card, if I remember right, is talking about situation changing and happening really fast, which is what I've been talking about. But look at, she's not playing the drum. I just noticed this today. It's on fire. Like, she must have been really like playing a hot ass jig. Hot. And there's like a pearl in there. Can you see the white dot? It's all defined. It's not like a fire looking, what is the word? Well, it's not part of the fire. It's even with my terrible eyesight, I can see it's pretty well defined that is a little white circle. So I don't know. I mean, did she drum so hard and fast that she created it? It's like a little treasure in the middle of the fire. But I guess that's kind of like what, I don't know. It's not like exactly like gallows humor, but I guess that's what you could turn it into. Like, you could change it from that sadness, the dark kind of energy. And yes, there's a horse in the background that's rearing up. Horses can dance too, you know. I don't know how much you know about animal communicators, but I've seen a few, and one I know has a very good relationship with horses and, well, animals. She's an animal communicator. I believe it, because I know that I can communicate with mine, not as well as she. Like, she can have a conversation with words. That's not what I got going on quite. I mean, telepathic words. There I go, scaring people off with weird shit. I don't know what the happy horse indicates. I have nothing to write on. Good luck, I'll try to remember. Maybe when I put the cards away, I'll remember to look up horse in that context. Anyway, maybe to carry the messenger with the ideas. Who knows? It's not. I'm not getting that. Okay, so the next card is Hierophant, and this one always kind of confuses me a little bit because I think of judgment, but also temperance. It reminds me of judgment. So I don't know. It's like sort of legal binding decision or something like that about it. And I'm looking for the little book. There it is, so I can just see what the heck it says about it. But I feel like it's like some kind of decision-making authority, you know, like, I don't know what's up with this guy, but he's like at the foot of some stairs, which I feel like are symbolic. He's almost pretty much lotus position, so he may have been in the whole meditation mode there. But the stairs are leading upward to like a bright flash, which makes me think, you know, divine stuff, like heaven, like a metaphor for like reaching for an answer or reaching for a communication with spirit. So that's just my impression right now. Let's just see what it says about the Hierophant. I don't want to leave you hanging with no music. There actually is some on in the background, but I don't think you can hear it because I can't hear it. I always have to turn it down so I don't get dinged for playing somebody's music. And I need to record my own or just play some of my own or something, but it's not really like thrashy punk rock is not the vibe I'm going for here. I guess I gotta go to the table of context. The table of context. I love it. Oh, wait, was that it? Major Arcana. It's 9. Number 9. Okay, where the heck is it? I seriously have to go through all of these? I was just doing that. I had to do this with my deck too. I would pause this, except I don't know how to do it for sure, and I don't want to cut this off. I feel decent about this. Like, I'm not feeling like I'll have to redo it, or feel like I have to redo it. I don't always, if I record it, I kind of just like, okay, that's it. However it comes out, there it is. Okay, so here is what it looks like on a traditional. It looks like a cleric on a traditional tarot card. And it says, the Hierophant is the embodiment of ritual, tradition, and conformity. He can be interpreted as the need for acceptance from others to fit in with society. That's interesting. I don't know what tradition this guy is supposed to be in, unless it's a shamanic tradition, because or a surfer. He's mighty casual, but in those communities, he might have authority. He might, or he might be a Grammy. He just wants to hang out like me. That's weird. I've never gotten something like that before. The Hierophant suggests adherence to rules and principles, which could indicate being part of a group of people. Whether taking the role of mentor or regular group member, the established system of rules is comforting. Okay, so I can talk about that. The comment section incident. Non-traditional language, freaking people to freak out. But see, I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to convert anybody. I want people to see it as regular, everyday stuff, you know, like, because it is. And then, you know, the terminology, I think, weirds people out, but it explains it. It defines what's happening, what I'm talking about. So I'm not going to stop using it. And eventually, I mean, oh my gosh, it's everywhere anyway. Like, eventually, that kind of thing is going to saturate, and then you can have conversations. I hope it's going to also evolve into having conversations about those unusual things that happen that are just like, can't really explain it with the science or whatever. I got a couple of more cards here, but if you heard that sigh, it just means it feels like work to extract meaning from them. But I will anyway go forward. So the Six of Pentacles is the next one I got, and you know, I'm getting a lot of pentacles, and so pentacles, well, they mean wealth, obviously, but I don't think this book, maybe it does. Nope. Well, pentacles has other meanings, and in this case, it's just like the person with the pentacles, the rich person, has the ability, the flexibility to, you know, affect other situations and other people's lives with, they can distribute pentacles, you know, money that greases wheels, and you know, you have responsibilities like bills that you have to pay, and so it covers that type of thing too. Here, I was noticing the hands, and it kind of looks like both hands look kind of feminine, but I'm not sure. But whoever is giving it out, there's someone that is like the authority there, someone that holds the purse strings. And I also noticed this big orange pentacle is also on this Two of Pentacles card, the same pentagram, or pentacle, pentagram. It keeps reappearing, and it's light. It's filled with light, so, or light colored, but also indicates like light and love style light, and spirit, the light of spirit, and light of inspiration, and light of like, yeah, light of inspiration, like that aha moment, light bulb moment. And I noticed like the other coins here have all these designs, and I was looking at them thinking, wait, are these something that I should know? But I think they're just like literal designs in this case. But it always strikes me with this card that in the background there is an 8. And see that white sort of, it's not real delineated, but it's there. And it suggests like investing in a startup. Like I feel that every time, and that could, that's always going to involve people. It's always going to involve personalities, relationships. And so you have to maintain this one if you want to maintain the flow of funds, if that's what's meant to happen. Money is always a weird thing to deal with people, and I don't have business dealings because I don't have a business, and I don't do business, and I don't want to, but I'm aware. I've worked at businesses. I know business people, and you can't not know about business in capitalism world. Like, ugh. I know more about it than I want to know. Anyway, the last card is the King of Pentacles. And here is the King of Pentacles. So, note the casual wear of the king there. It totally makes me think of like Mark Zuckerberg in his same outfit. I think Jack, what's that guy's name? The guy that owns Blue Sky, used to do Twitter. I think he is one of those same shirt for every occasion guy, closet full of the same shirt, and you know, sneakers, and look at the hair. Like, that's very relaxed and casual. But also, this is an older guy, so that kind of comes with the territory too. And the fact that he has this faithful dog next to him indicates that there's like a kind-heartedness to the person, because I mean, you can certainly have a dog stay by your side. They are known to be the most loyal creature, but this dude doesn't look like he's been trained to get up and eat somebody's face. He looks like he's just hanging out with his bro. Like, he doesn't have that. He could be. It actually looks very close to a wolf, so it might even be that. And wow, man, your vibe, speaking of vibes, must be pretty darn good if a wolf is comfortable next to you, because they are like, they're not like real people. They're not pets, really. They are really more of a companion. Like, it kind of goes along with having the good vibe where the animal likes you and trusts you. And that's another indication of, you know, well, they're in charge. And then, like, they are, look at all those books in the background. Like, I would hope that this person actually read them. Like, I feel like they did. Like, I feel like that's why they're there, to indicate that this person is not well read, but knowledgeable. So they got the heart, they got the brain, they got the money with the full package. And they may be, where'd that card go? The owner of the hand that's helping. The helping hand. And, you know, like I said, I'm not a business, but I hope that whatever information that can be gleaned from whatever I've said here, I hope that it's helpful. I hope that there is something there that maybe even you would want to pass on. So that, like, everybody's helping. Anyway, I think I got it out of my system. Thank you and good night.